Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of eating. You know, you get to that place during the holidays where you just don't know if you can take any more eating. And I don't know if I can take it anymore, but I think I'm probably going to try next time I'm hungry. but you get so, I mean, it's like crazy how we just stuff ourselves way. I mean, it's just, sometimes it's just too much. You want to go to bed. Anyway, let's show you. This is from Hayoseko Carmona. He sent me this. There was a couple of charts that are interesting today. Now, let me give you a disclaimer here. With all that's going on and the whole lawsuit thing and all of that, it's kind of hard to look at charts and really think that they matter much. But there's still some interesting charts that people show every once in a while. This one's from the Crypto Lab 2017-2020, comparing the two and how things look very similar and that kind of thing. And then there was another one here from Crypto Bull. It's important to never lose sight of the bigger picture. Look at the monthly chart. I see XRP starting wave 5. We came back to retest a year-long trend line as support. Now, when I look at things like this, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of tough to look at these trend lines when there are wild cards that are thrown onto the table. But then again, I'm not a chart guy. So, moving along. Okay. I wanted to show you this. This is from, and this is to once again illustrate that no matter what's happening in the United States, XRP and Ripple are global. And as they've said, I think 90 or 95% of Ripple's business is not in the United States. So just because you see scary things happening here does not mean it's scary from a worldwide perspective. But I'll show you why it's really not, why I think it's really not scary here at the end of this video. But here's the little commercial. I'm not going to play it. I'll let you watch it like this without the sound because I don't know if I'll get hit with some Japanese copyrights. But I just wanted to show you all the X's that are flying through the air. That would be them promoting XRP. XRP is alive and well. XRP and Ripple are not going anywhere, folks. Now, I had someone ask me they sent me a message, I think, and asked me what was the name of the video, this video, what was the guy's name? The guy's name was Tika Tawari, and he was on Glenn Beck. And this was back in 2018. And what Tika Tawari, he's a guy from, he has the Palm Beach Research Report, okay? And he was explaining what has been going on with the manipulation in the markets. And since there's a lot of new people here, and I'm having people ask me about it, he was explaining how these big corporations and banks have been manipulating the crypto markets. Listen to what he says for a minute, and then I'll go. And the reason I wanted to show you this now is because he has weighed in on the recent thing with XRP.
And this is really horrible. And it's why we all feel so freaked out. But they are feasting on our savings. And it's an enormous robbery, quite honestly.
It's a huge transfer of wealth that's happening right now. The last time I saw something like this was back during 1994 to 19...
As you watch this should settle you down a little bit and understand there's a lot of games being played and they will continue to be played. That's why if you look at my logo, I've said a long time ago, 2 years ago, it's time to put your big boy pants on because this is a big boy game. XRP and Ripple are not going anywhere. This is a big boy game and you're just going to have to stomach certain things. So put your big boy or your big girl pants on and have some cinnamon in your coffee and relax because this too shall pass.
1995. In the early to mid-90s, individuals were making just enormous amounts of money buying companies like Dell, AOL, Microsoft, Netscape, and some of these smaller internet stocks. And the institutions had completely missed that bull market. And so they were scoffing at these so-called lemmings. And so during 1994 to 1995, we had a bit of a bear market. And so, again, institutions were out saying that, oh, anybody buying internet stocks, you're idiotic. And so you had a lot of people selling their AOL, selling their Microsoft, selling their Dell shares. Guess who was buying? It was the institutions. If you look at a chart of institutional allocation to venture capital internet deals, it doubled between 1994 to 1995, which was exactly when institutions were saying, oh, this is just a market for idiots. Nobody should be buying this stuff.
Okay, so let me pause that for 1 second. Okay, we'll play a little bit more of that for you.
That own Dell, Microsoft, and AOL. And then from 1995 to 2000, of course, you know, we saw $5 trillion come into the market, and the biggest bull market we've ever seen. So this blueprint of creating fear in order to get cheap prices is nothing new. So
and you know, hang on just a second before you go on.
Yeah.
This one is really important to me because
Okay, I just wanted to show you that clip, but you can go online and they called it the Great Cryptocurrency Conspiracy, I believe. Go on YouTube and it's there. You can watch the whole thing. It's a fascinating watch, especially with what you're seeing in XRP right now. Okay. So this guy tweeted this out, got an email from Tika Tawari's Palm Beach Insider Group, and he gives several reasons to remain bullish. Let's see what he says. First, Ripple has the money to hire the best lawyers in the world, go toe-to-toe with the SEC. It even hired former SEC chairwoman Mary Jo White as a representative back in 2018 in a separate case. Plus, we didn't think the SEC's case, we don't think the SEC's case holds water. XRP is now more of a utility token than ever because it's used on Ripple's on-demand liquidity network. And if you acknowledge XRP as a utility token for network usage, it's harder to classify it as a security. And I'm still excited about Ripple's potential. Excuse me. Over 350 financial institutions use its payment network, RippleNet, to receive payouts in more than 40 currencies across 55 plus countries. These RippleNet members can settle transactions in 3 to 5 seconds compared to days it could take traditional services. I believe that's all that they had here. But anyway, this is the Palm Beach report. That's like an investor newsletter, and they've got major investors on their newsletter. So now I wanted to show you this. Wow, this is from XRP Bart. Wow, all the top 0.01% no. This was only at 28 million the other day. And this guy says, I've been watching the XRP rich list for the last, for a few days now. Does anyone else find it coincidental that the top 0.01% rounded off at 30 million after the big sell-off from the news regarding the SEC lawsuit? So everybody else is selling, but the big boys that are in the know up there at the top are the ones that are accumulating. Interesting stuff. This is also interesting. Now, remember who you're looking at. This is real XRP boy. He says, hey, XRP community, do you think Ripple took advantage of the SEC news at SEC enforcements, the trading markets fintech hub? Let's follow that. So what you're looking at, this is Glenn Hutchins, who is a board member at the Digital Currency Group. He's also a New York Fed guy. He is he's the guy that said the value's in the protocol. And he's also, he's the guy that I think I've seen him. I know where the New York Economy Club, I believe it's called. He was the president for a while. That's where Brad Garlinghouse spoke. That's where all these people go. All the people that are included in the club. Anyway, Brad Garlinghouse went there. Jay Clayton's been there. It's all the same club. That's what you need to understand here. So, and Glenn Hutchins is on the board at Digital Currency Group, which is an owner in both Ripple and Coinbase. Okay. So here's Glenn Hutchins talking to Jay Clayton.
So you've talked about, talk about how you've built.
Tell you what, this, my headsets are just not working with me. Okay. I've been fighting this audio here, today. So let's see if we can get this thing going again.
So you've talked about, talk about how you've built capacity at the SEC to understand the digital currency ecosystem. I know you have a group here in New York. You recently announced the launch of the FinHub that will focus on issues related to ICOs and digital assets. What's the purpose of the FinHub? What role do you see it playing in this space going forward, and how can the folks in this room interact with it?
It's there to provide a centralized resource for people from the private sector who want to interact with us and see what we have been doing in this space to date. It's basically a conduit to contact the SEC.
Okay. And how do folks here find that? It's available online?
Yes, www.sec.gov.
And it's a guide, it's a way for them to come into your system.
Come into our system, understand our perspective, get more flesh on the bones of the issues you and I have been discussing today.
So they're open arms. They're inviting people to come in and talk to them. But what good is it if you're coming in to talk to them if they're just going to ignore everything you've been talking about and the fact that you've been trying to work with them and then sue you? It wouldn't do any good, would it? It doesn't make any sense. It defies logic unless this is a game. Okay? Now, let's talk about games. What we're supposed to believe, Mr. Use Case has got it here. What we're supposed to believe is that they're going to let a CEO who is illegally selling XRP as a security up there with that group. Come on, guys. What else do I need to show you? He's exactly right. What he's showing you is a picture of Brad Garlinghouse at the Swiss National Bank meeting. This is back in, I believe, 2019. And he's all these people are central bankers and major heads of the banking system of their respective countries. That's Christine Lagarde. That's Augustin Carstens who's the chairman of the BIS, which is the central bank of central banks. But I found something else more interesting from this same meeting that I was going to show you, because I just happened to see this article today on CoinDesk. Digital currencies may make SWIFT redundant, says Russian central bank report. It says, given the pace of development of central bank currencies, several countries may launch one in the next 5 to 10 years. According to First Deputy Governor Olga, however you say that last name, then we can deal with the direct integration issues. In this case, SWIFT, it may not be necessary because it will be a different kind of technological interaction. She said in a meeting last week. And then So the bottom line is SWIFT may be redundant. Well, imagine, I'm only aware of one company who has been saying over and over and over that their plan is to replace SWIFT, and that they were in fact replacing SWIFT over the last few years, and that would be Ripple, okay? But here's what else I know. Remember that picture I just showed you of Brad Garlinghouse in the middle of that room with all those central bankers? Well, guess who else was there? It was called the 9th High-Level Conference on International Monetary System, and it was on May 14th, 2019, and there are no coincidences. This is one of the women that was there. She was from the Bank of Russia, Elvira, however you say that last name, governor of the Bank of Russia. And that's her right there. And by the way, this guy right here, his name's Barry Eichengren. You'll never guess who interviewed him on their podcast. It would be David Schwartz's podcast. And of course, that's just a coincidence too. I think he's a professor from maybe Berkeley, I believe. And like an economist, he's like an ex-IMF official or something like that. So yeah, he just happened to be interviewed, and that's a coincidence, by the way, but he was interviewed by David Schwartz. Well, this is the same event that I just showed you, that banking conference. Oh, there's Brad Garlinghouse, there's Christine Lagarde, there's Augustin Carstens right there. And let's see if we've got anything else that is, that's it. But I just wanted to show you this to let you know these are not the kind of companies that the SEC, after 8 years, points at and says, hey, we're just going to say you're a security and screw you. No, that's not how the world works. It doesn't make any sense. It defies logic. But let me show you something that does make a lot of sense to me. Here's another one of those, I believe this was something that popped up. I've never seen this before, but it's like one of those, let me see I don't even know who this handle is. I'm going to follow them, but this is another one of those people that pops up and starts saying a lot of things almost like they know something, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of similar to some of the things we've heard in the past. Watch this. Back to the future. I can't read it that way. Let's go down to this one. Well, I guess I got to read it that way. Back to the future. Auspicious date alert. The first sitting of the Bretton Woods Conference, July 1st, 1944, aimed to achieve an agreement on the IMF. Enough consensus existed. The conference also achieved an agreement on the World Bank. At the BWC, John Maynard Keynes proposed to establish an international clearing union, effectively a bank with its own currency, the bank or bank gold, exchangeable with national currencies at a fixed rate as a way to regulate the balance of trade. At the time, Lionel Roberts stated it would be difficult to exaggerate the electrifying effect on thought throughout the whole relevant apparatus of government. Nothing so imaginative, so ambitious had ever been discussed. Since the financial crisis of 2007-2008, ambition and imagination by fintech organizations have become currency unto themselves. In a speech delivered on March 2009 entitled Reform the International Monetary System, the governor of the People's Bank of China called Keynes' Bankor approach far-sighted, cited the Triffin paradox, conflict arising between short-term, domestic, long-term international objectives for countries whose money serve as global reserve currencies, and proposed the adoption of IMF special drawing rights as a global reserve currency as a response to the financial crisis 2007 to 2010. On April 13th, 2010, the Strategy Policy Review Department of the IMF recommended the world adopt a global reserve currency, Bankor, and global central bank be established to administer such a currency. The IMF cautioned for a gradual shift to this new framework rather than a sudden change. I truly believe people are not meant to have XRP, and we will see a time when XRP is delisted from retail exchanges. Now look, this was written in May of 2020, okay? I truly believe the people are not meant to have XRP, and we will see a time when XRP is delisted from retail exchanges. Perhaps it will be a buyback, exchange, redeem scenario, and perhaps a regulations issue. Regardless, the tech is now in place with a baked-in token. The snowball has been rolling for a decade. The ripples are becoming waves. And then it was not just that. It was this. How the XRP buyback will be enacted, part 2. XRP is a new boat. I don't know what they mean by that. It's updated blockchain Bitcoin 2.0 XDR. See my What XRP Is post. XRP is the native token of the Ripple network, which is built for government and bank use. When the XRP takes up its official role and can no longer play with the plebs, we will be incentivized to sell the tokens back. The magic 10K figure in XRP community was planted. Does anyone know the original source? As many, myself included, would be prepared to sell our bags at this figure. After this buyback at a reset, XRP will be used to tokenize all the money, all the precious metals, all the gold ever mined in history, which at an estimated 197,576 tons is worth 11 trillion. 11 trillion gold divided by 100 billion XRP equals $110, and that's just gold. Those who will hold until their XRP is priced from their cold dead fingers will find XRP is simply not sellable above the 10K price rate, and holding is as pointless as burying it under their shacks. It is also possible XRP still held by retail investors will be escrowed for transaction burn or donated to IMF for global liquidity in the new quantum financial system. And that is, I don't know if this was written, it says edits here, but it looks like it came from 7/9, July of 20, okay? That's some interesting writing right there is all I got to say. Justin Vargas sent me this. I thought this was hilarious. This girl says, good morning to everyone except my ex-boyfriend who texted last night asking me if I'm still into that Bitcoin thing. And Pomp says, should have asked him to send you some. And she replies with a classic response, told him XRP was the new standard before wishing him a happy new year. That's an in-your-face Pomp. I like it. Riz XRP sent me this. Now this right here is what you need to see today, folks. If you see nothing else today, you need to see this. All the world's a stage makes you wonder if Ripple has an out if they don't get the regulatory clarity they were hoping for buying XRP. And this is the tweet that I'm referencing. SEC is out of time. Nice find. I want to give a, this guy found it. Let's see. I want to give a caveat here. I am not an attorney, so I don't know if this means exactly what it looks like it means. We'll have to wait and see, watching an actual attorney weigh in on that part. Okay. But it says this: U.S. Supreme Court clarifies scope of 5-year statute of limitations in SEC enforcement proceedings. So they lay this out. And then it goes on, SEC enforcement actions are subject to a 5-year statute of limitations, which provides that an action, suit, or proceeding for the enforcement of any civil fine, penalty, or forfeiture, pecuniary or otherwise, shall not be entertained unless commenced within 5 years from the date when the claim first accrued. You know how we've all been saying, why would Jay Clayton, after 8 years, you sat there after 8 years? The whole point of statutes of limitations are to prevent the kinds of things we've been seeing on Twitter in the XRP community. And that is to prevent people from being harmed by inaction by enforcement agencies like the SEC. I mean, that's the whole point is that. And it's also for the purpose of not having something held over someone's head forever or whatever. But that's a big part of it in this case. It says in this case, the SEC charged the chief operating officer and former portfolio manager of an investment advisor with secretly allowing favored investor to market time a mutual fund while publicly stating that the fund did not tolerate the market timing. It says reversing the district court's dismissal, the second court held a discovery rule applies to violations, but anyway, let's see if it says where the district court dismissed the SEC's civil penalty claim as time barred because the alleged violations occurred between 1999 and 2002. So what do we have here with Ripple? So here we are in 2020 when they filed the action, and they're focused on when Ripple started selling this stuff in 2013. So how many years is that? That's 7 years, right? And this statute says 5 years is what my understanding is. Yeah, right here. U.S. Supreme Court clarifies scope of 5-year statute of limitations, SEC enforcement proceedings. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but if this is what it looks like it is, then they've got their out right there. And this is the actual where that document came from. I want to remind everybody, these guys are continuing. I don't know how much longer they're going to do it. I'm sure by New Year's. I guess they're extending their Christmas sale on Pure VPN. I've got a link at the very top of the description of this video with all the hacking going on. I recommend everybody have a Pure VPN. You just click on it and download this, and they're giving you like an 88% sale, 88% off sale right now, and they're still running it, and it's probably going to be over in the next few days. But anyway, if you click on that, you can go do it. This is how, with all the hacking going on, everybody wants your crypto. And so with all the hacking going on, this allows you to surf the web anonymously. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that there might just be a 5-year statute of limitations on this thing. And you have to wonder, why did the SEC file it? Because they know that. Thank you for listening.